Hello everyone and welcome to all of my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful fellow seekers out there. So, first of all, I just wanted to wish everyone a very, very happy Thanksgiving. I know I'm a bit early, but next week I will be traveling home for the holiday and spending some time with my family. So I wanted to spend some time with all of you beforehand. Thanksgiving has always been one of my absolute favorite holidays, and I don't think I'm unique in that respect. I think a lot of people feel that way, and maybe it's because it doesn't hold some of the same pressures as other holidays, or there isn't the same kind of consumerism attached to it. It's very pure and simple, and I love the coziness and the time spent with family, and of course the food. But most of all, it's about being together and sharing our blessings and gratitude. So, as the seasons march on and we move from autumn to winter, we tend to spend more time with friends and family, bring each other closer and nourishing one another, body and soul. As the days grow darker and shorter and colder, we tend to keep our spirits high with seasonal celebrations, festivities, and lots of delicious food. So, of course, we know that Thanksgiving originated as a harvest festival, and the first kind of Thanksgiving, at least the way many of us have come to think of it today, was celebrated by the Pilgrims after their first harvest in the New World back in the 1600s. And it was attended by Pilgrims and Native Americans. It was a day for feasting and sharing and prayer to thank God for their blessings. So whatever your thoughts are about this, the tradition of coming together for a feast and giving thanks remains to this day. So we've talked a lot about gratitude together over the year, focusing on what's good and what's right instead of its opposite can be so powerful. Giving thanks and choosing to have and express gratitude magnifies all of the positivity that's around us, and it helps us to connect more deeply to our friends, family, acquaintances, to the world around us. If we think about how our experiences in life are really shaped by our emotions, or what we tend to focus our attention on, and as we know, as we've talked about many times before, what we focus on tends to expand. So it follows that celebrating life and giving thanks for all the good in your life is empowering, and it cultivates this deep reservoir within of inner love and compassion. And in paying attention to what we have instead of what we don't have, and what we can aspire to or improve upon can enrich both our inner and outer worlds. And in this way, we draw in all of our blessings and magnify them. And we look to become a blessing to others. There are lots of different ways that each and every one of us can do this. And with this in mind, coming together and enjoying a nice meal and sharing stories, catching up, just being with one another is very much a part of the human experience. And whether it's Thanksgiving or any other time of year, for any other reason, or any other occasion. Now, I've definitely spent a Thanksgiving alone, and I don't recommend it. If you can help it, there are different ways to seek out opportunities to come together and to share with others. You can volunteer, go to a restaurant, travel to be with family or friends or the family that you've created for yourself, the people that you choose to be around and all close to you. So I pulled a few books to leaf through for inspiration. Many of us will be attending or hosting Thanksgiving dinners, or maybe it's just something that you want to try on another occasion. I thought we could look through these books together, and the first one I have, it's actually called Entertaining, and you may recognize a young Martha Stewart. This is kind of funny to me, at least. This book was written several decades ago, so it's kind of showing its age a little bit, but that's part of what appealed to me about it. And as you can see, it's quite dated, as are some of the recipes, but I actually stumbled upon it at a farmer's market, and some of you may remember I live in New England now. I'm not from here, but that's where I live now. And at the farmer's market this past summer, there was a tent with a series of free books, a lot of recipe books, and this was one of them. So I thought it was quintessentially New England. Nowadays, we typically look up recipes online, or at least I do. But every once in a while, it's fun to reference an actual recipe book, just like the old days, and have a look at beautiful pictures of all the foods and elaborate ornamental table settings. So it can be kind of interesting, especially when the recipe books are free, as long as you have the space, which can be a challenge. So here's the section on Thanksgiving. It says, "Our farmhouse Thanksgiving for 8. We will be having about 12 people this year at my mother's house for Thanksgiving, which is our tradition. It's definitely a lot of work. I help, of course. I done a Thanksgiving by myself once, and I thought never again, because it is so much work, and by the time it's ready, you don't even feel like eating anything. So it's definitely fun to share responsibilities with others." Beautiful glossy photos. It is not a small book by by any stretch. There are some fun recipes. One of the recipes that appealed to me is it's called Laura's Maple Nut Hubbard Squash Puree. There aren't any photos of it, but the recipe calls for 6 cups of butternut squash, half a cup of butter, half cup of heavy cream, 2/3 cup of maple syrup, and then some cinnamon, nutmeg, salt, and pepper, with some chopped pecans or walnuts to, I think, a sprinkle on top. Now it's a fairly straightforward recipe, cutting and peeling the squash and cooking it until it's soft, and then pureeing it with the other ingredients and stirring in the cream and the spices, and of course the nuts on top. But I did want to mention I will often take these more kind of mainstream recipes as a source of inspiration and then make substitutions based on either what I like or what works for me. I mentioned that I came down with a pretty severe virus a few years ago, and that changed what I'm able to eat. So it's very easy to substitute butter and heavy cream for something like a coconut milk or a nut milk. And you can either eliminate the butter or use ghee, which is a great alternative, clarified butter. But other than that, it's fairly basic and has nice whole ingredients. I've always loved squash soup, and whenever I make it, other people tend to enjoy it as well. So the next recipe that I thought looked pretty delicious was an applesauce spice cake. And again, it calls for butter, sugar, eggs, flour, which is pretty typical. And I would just substitute the sugar for coconut sugar and the all-purpose flour for like an almond flour or something like that. It's healthier, but more importantly, it I think is a little bit easier to digest, and I personally feel better eating those kinds of ingredients. So it's always fun to see what you can find and how you can substitute it to your tastes or maybe your dietary needs. So again, kind of disappointed there's no picture to the apple spice cake, but I will include the recipe below if you're interested. It looks pretty easy. It also calls for some spices, nuts, raisins, most things that people have in their cupboards. So I will include that recipe as well. So those are some of the hits from the Martha Stewart's entertaining cookbook that I found for free, and I think it'll be fun to experiment with some of those kind of classic New England dishes. Then another book, let me just relocate the candles here, that I found is called The Art of Simple Food. And this book appealed to me even more so because the recipes only include a few ingredients, and the ingredients are mostly just whole foods, so pure, nutritious. It's how I try to eat anyways, and it's pretty simple and easy to master. doesn't require a lot of preparation or appliances, tools, things of that nature. So again, it's the Art of Simple Food, and this recipe book I actually found at an estate sale in the area. For those of you who are not familiar, estate sale is sort of the fancy New England version of a garage sale or tag sale. In the Midwest, we always call them garage sales or tag sale, but here they're called estate sales. Needless to say, I found this recipe book for $1, and I thought it had a lot of really good ideas. So let's read through and see what we find. In this particular book, there are illustrations, pencil sketches of the foods. So there aren't any photos, but because the ingredients are pretty basic, I think it's easy to imagine. One of the items, and this is in the autumn fruits and nuts section, is a recipe for honey candied walnuts. And there are just 4 ingredients really: sugar, water, honey, and walnuts. And again, I would substitute with the sugar a coconut sugar or something similar. And you essentially cook the nuts in the sugar, water, and honey to make your own candied nuts, which I think would be a wonderful treat. And I love the smell of candied nuts, and obviously they're super delicious, especially when they're warm and freshly made. For anyone who's ever been to the mall around the holidays, or certain airports even have them, I think. It's just the best smell in the world. And I was thinking it would also be fairly easy just to use like a cacao chip and coconut oil and some honey or maple syrup, melting that together to create your chocolate dipping sauce, and then rolling either cashews or almonds in that mix and letting it dry and harden, and then sprinkling some like Himalayan pink sea salt, I think would be a wonderful treat. And might be a great idea in case you don't want to buy presents this year. It'd be a wonderful holiday idea to wrap them up and give them to friends and family as gifts. I think people would really enjoy kind of that homemade touch, and it's simple, and it doesn't have a lot of kind of concerning ingredients or preservatives, so I really like that. And I think I've just talked myself into experimenting with the candied nuts and the chocolate covered nut recipes. I think they'd be pretty easy and straightforward and very yummy and well received. There's also a recipe in here for persimmons, and I know my parents have a persimmon tree that the deer always love to eat, but there's still a few to harvest, and I never really knew how to eat them. But in here it says that you can essentially just take the stem off when you freeze them, take them out of the freezer and eat it with a spoon. To scoop out the fleshy inside. Apparently the frozen persimmon flesh is really good. So that's a great idea that I hadn't thought of. But this has a lot of really good recipes, ideas for how to eat good, whole, nutritious foods, or how to prepare them simply. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have such a beautiful holiday, and let me know in the comments if you want me to share any information, maybe on my go-to kind of everyday recipes. I'm quite quick at it. And and it's definitely helped me quite a bit feel better and get over some of the challenges following my illness, so it might be helpful. I know there's so much information out there these days, so let me know. Most of them are autoimmune protocol or paleo friendly too. And with that, as always, thank you so very much for sharing this time and experience with me. I look forward to connecting with you again very soon. And until then, keep seeking. You never know